Hi you guys, I wanted to show you how to clean brushes. So I'm just going to be using, I'll show you. Oh, sorry, it's kind of gross. A regular bar soap. But an art store also sells something, it's a brush cleaner. Either one will work. This is obviously better, but this also works. Um, what we're going to do is we're going to get the brushes wet with just water, and this is whether you use oils or acrylics, you clean your brushes the same way. We're going to get the bristles wet. We're going to work soap in, and the trick is to try to get soap all the way to the top of the hair and the start of the metal ferrule, right? So we're going to put soap on it and just wash it like this and then rinse it. We're going to keep on doing that until the brush, the soap suds are the color that they're supposed to be. So let's get started. So I'm using colder water. When you're painting in the winter, it can be tempting to use warm water, but you don't want to get it too warm because you can actually expand that metal when you heat it up. So try to keep, when you expand the metal, the hairs will fall off. That's never happened to me. I don't know if that's a myth, but I'm too scared to risk it, so I always use cold or warm water. So I got my brush wet, and then I just went back and forth on the soap. I would do the same thing if I was using that soap, that brush cleaner. And then I just go in my hand, and I go back and forth, and I'm pressing the brush down to really make sure I get that soap in the ferrules. And I just painted the white and black still life, so I have gray on my hand from the soap suds. So I know I got some of the paint out. I'm just going to do that again. And I just keep on going until, and you can like scrub it. This is a good way to clean your brush, but you run the risk of sometimes my hands feel a little raw afterwards if I have a lot of brushes to clean. So that was a little less gray. I'm just going to keep on going. Now, I love my brushes, so I try to take really good care of them. I feel like that's almost white, so maybe one more time. So I'm patient when I do this. There was something on my soap that just came off. Okay. I think that's actually pretty good. And then I would just put this to dry. Yeah, much better than where we started. I just put that one to dry. I usually leave it just like this on the edge of my sink if that's a possibility. And then I would move on to the next brush and just do the same thing. You should try to wash your brushes immediately after painting. When you're painting with acrylics, this one isn't so dirty at all. When you're painting with acrylics, you really have to wash them immediately. If you're using oil, because it takes oil paint so long to dry, you really could get away with waiting a day, but brushes are something that are you can become really attached to. So I always try to take really good care of my brushes. Okay, that's basically the idea. Whether it's big or small, you treat them the same way. So this is a small brush that I'm doing that same thing from. Now, the only last thing to mention is that when the brushes are wet, so right after they've been washed, I don't know how to say this, but they're moldable in a way. So in the perfect world, I want them just to dry without anything touching them. When we were in a face-to-face classroom, students would wash them and put them in the bags. And there's always the danger that if you put it in a bag, you may put the brush against something and it's going to dry pressed like this, and then it will be like that. How it dries is the shape it's in. So just try to be conscious of not having your brush hairs rest against anything when they're wet and drying. Okay? That should be it.